Let's just unpause it for a second so that it realizes all of the things that I have available to me. There we go. Whoa. Let's have a quick zoom out. We've still got so much of the map that is uncovered. Sorry, that is covered. All right. Well, this is where we need to be. This is where the action needs to be happening. We've even got more volcanoes down here that we want to touch on and find out what's going down. We are realistically drawing quite a lot of chill out of here. How long we can maintain that, I don't know. This was the big project from the last stream. We have hopefully prepped this volcano for taming. We've got some hecking huge chunks of ice in there, ready to be instantly blasted into steam. Hopefully, that's the only type of liquid we're going to need in there, but we'll see. Over here, we have 25 cycles to rejig this volcano. Because, unfortunately, we have decided that we need this to be better designed. Because right now, the copper that it produces, whilst beautiful, we're not eking out all of the heat that we could out of that volcano, and I think we can do a little bit better than we have been up to now. Because this volcano doesn't use... It just uses the passive heat from the volcano to generate the steam power. So this is an energy positive process, as is this one. I don't want to have any kind of active cooling in there. We're also gathering all of the slime. You know what? I could start making some fried mushroom. But since we've already started to eat shovels as our barbecue foods, I'm not really sure that's going to help. I'm really not sure that would help. We've already got lots. I do need to move them around because we are dumping a lot of regolith down here. This whole thing is doing quite nicely. It's doing very, very nicely at the moment. And generally speaking, this whole system is, I mean, it's not as great as I had hoped it would be, but that's because when I first envisioned it, I didn't quite understand how everything was going to work. But I feel that if we were to build that again, we would build it in a different way, and it would be a lot better. A lot better. Hey, Sweet Angel UK, how are you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Ah, it's a US thing. Very well. Thank you very much for explaining. Okay, so with that done, let's remind ourselves of what's going on down here. What's going on in terms of liquids? Well, first and foremost, we have the cooling loop has just been hatched into the main cooling loop of the system. So that's keeping this area chilled to some degree. It's also feeding the water into there's a 3.9 over here. It's like down to 1.8. It's also feeding it into a water sieve so that I can deliver more water into the system if there is a need for it. Should there ever be a need. Now that's controlled by this system over here. First and foremost, since the water will be dropped over here where it's most the heat's going to be present. If the water manages to run all the way down here, this checks. If it's below 500 kilos, then it wants more water added in. But we're not going to do that for now because we've already got all of this wonderful, wonderful ice in there. And ultimately, I want this room to have a much too high pressure of steam in there for any polluted water to off-gas. Because if I started adding in polluted water right now, it would just start producing polluted oxygen in here, and that would ruin the system. I want this to be completely steamed out first, then this can come in. But the other condition, it needs both conditions to be active. This has got to be below 500 kilos, and this has got to be above 205 C. So if the steam is getting too hot, we'll start introducing more water into the system, because otherwise we have got quite a lot of water here. What, 960 kilos of ice there, 640 kilos of ice there, and 7.6 tons of ice here. I strongly suspect we're never going to need that extra water. If we do, it's going to be much, much later on. Much later on, when all of this ice is being converted into steam and this place is scorching hot, then we might introduce more water to help cool it down. At some later stage, I may need to input some additional means to siphon water out of this system. Because right now the water just keeps going in. It never comes back out. Water goes in, nothing else ever comes out. Well, except for dirt and igneous rock, which will eventually be removed. Now, in terms of the igneous rock, well, first and foremost, this is just hysteresis. It'll turn on if the signal is above 200 degrees. So these kick in and start pulling the heat out. This will turn it back off if it drops below 120 degrees. So we only really want these running when there's a use to it running. This will kick in if there is ever something other than steam. If there is steam in here, then this will be reversed, this signal. So it'll send a green signal if it detects steam, and that will shut this off. But in the unlikely event, the hopefully extremely unlikely event that there is polluted oxygen in here, if this detects it, it'll turn on the pump and the pump will vent some of it, probably along with some steam, which will melt part of this biome. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Now, the conveyor loader here should be set to accept everything except ice. Ice is the only thing that it won't accept. I will actually allow it to pick up, solid carbon dioxide. I will allow it to pick up chlorine. I will allow it to pick up. That's it. Those are the only things I'm going to allow it to pick up. If it's dry ice or solid chlorine, frozen chlorine, then it can pick it up and shunt it out. But honestly, that would be kind of crazy. Otherwise, this will pick it up, pump it onto this rail. This rail will then cycle it all the way through this whole system. It'll be transmitting this heat to the metal plate, everything, all the way over to here. And at this point, it'll check, is the temperature below 200 degrees? If it is, it'll get ejected. And it'll run all the way over here and then get dumped into this pool. It'll get out of the cold biome as quickly as it can, the frozen core. If it is not below 200 degrees, and so I can leach more heat out of it, it'll go round once again, and it'll keep doing that forever. Now, this volcano is going to be active again in 13.4 cycles. So we have a little ways, a little bit of time before we need to worry about that one. Now, the focus for now is this one, which is going to be active in 26 cycles. Right now, the big difference between this and this is this one will split up the lumps of igneous rock into small packets that it'll filter around the entire room. It'll basically increase the surface area of the igneous rock and allow it to leach heat out of it a little bit more efficiently. Over here, the copper just ends up in massive, massive quantities on the ground. It isn't fully cool before it gets picked up because of that. And that is a problem that I want solved. A big problem that I want solved. But otherwise, it's largely the same system. Well, with a few exceptions. This works in the same way. If it detects anything other than steam, it tries to vent it. And this works in the same way. If there isn't enough water and the temperature is too hot, then it will allow more water to come in. It's got to be too hot in here for that to work. Of course, I can adjust it if I particularly want to. This will turn on when it is hot enough, when it's above 135, so it's a much lower threshold here, and will turn off when it's below 130. But I really, really do want this to be running at as higher a heat as I can. Now, the problem is there's 109 kilos of steam in every tile in there. And I'm about to just dump it out in here. It's going to rain water everywhere, including in this pool, which is going to annoy me. That being said, the water will sit on top. It won't go in the pool. The pool should be okay. See, this pool is also cooled by the general cooling loop. Comes through here, runs over this little oil puddle here, which is helping to cool down the refined copper. Alright. Now, this job has to be done really quickly, unfortunately, and there's no easy way of doing it. I basically just need to get in there, burrow in as fast as I can, and do my work. Now, there is one way that I might be able to reduce the amount of work involved. And that, liquid locks. Now, obviously, down here we've got polluted water. If I could come in through the bottom and up, it might be okay. But there is a chance that this will create an issue for me that I don't really want to have to deal with. Tiny little bit of polluted oxygen versus having to vent the entire room. What do you think, Chair? Or should I try and just make a liquid lock over here? Just an oil liquid lock, quickly. What are you thinking, chat? Should we go for a hodgepodge oil liquid lock and then burrow up? I can probably put something like that together. There's way too much polluted water there for me to easily pump out. But if I set up a pump over here just to get rid of everything, maybe even pump it into this zone, I could possibly reduce this to the point where I could just make a liquid lock over here of oil, sink down, across, and then up. Hey, Belial. Should Aquamantis Zero open up with a cheer? Does this make Aavak happy? It makes me cheery, as Martin pointed out. Hey, mate, how you doing? But yeah, I think if we can try and minimize the amount I'm going to have to faff around with this, that would be better for me. On a whole other level, it would be better for me. So, with that in mind, let's quickly do this. I'm going to need these. I don't want to put them at 9s, but we're going to put them at 8s. Almost every bit of work that we're doing down here is going to be an 8 for now. Because I need this done fast. I don't even need the pump. I just need to build this up and out. Then I'm going to have an oil dropper up here. Enough to drop enough oil down that I can sneak in and then back up on the inside. We may be able to get this done actually reasonably fast if we do this, whilst preserving the enormous amount of steam you already have in the room. Marissa, I'm exhausted. Got all my stuff with the moving company. Been a long week. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, a simple... Is that Simple Kingen? Thank you very much for the Prime sub there, mate. Wolpy Prime, just wanted to say hello before going back to work. We'll be back later, though. Oh, take care, mate. Thanks for dropping by to say hello. Right, then. Let's go and have a look at what's going down with the rest of the colony. Things in here are going okay. Temperatures, it's, it's rising a little bit here and there. How's everything up top going? All right for the time being, though we have stripped away all of my petroleum generators, which is a tad bit of a problem. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my lord. This mess of piping, though. You got... Wow. Just wow. So we get any new petroleum, it comes up through here, tries to enter the main system, if it can. And if it can't, it goes up this way. Bridges across, oh my, the spaghetti. The spaghetti in this base is painful to behold. It's at this point that a normal person would be like, no, I'm gonna torch it, burn it with fire. I will start again. It'll be grand, it'll be beautiful. Beautiful in ways that this never could be. But, you see, well, I'm both too stubborn and I also enjoy fixing things more than I enjoy building with the perfect system from the get-go. I enjoy things going wrong and then proving that they can be fixed. Kind of why I enjoy infestations in RimWorld. Subtle ad for the latest RimWorld episode that went up today. Should I put it on a 9? It'll make Belial happy, so fine. I'll put it on a 9. Thank you for that cheer there, Aquaman to 0. When you want to click 100, but click 1. Thanks to sneeze. Expect walls of grey spikes now. Thank you, dude. Alright. Hopefully we can get this done relatively fast, because we do need to get in there relatively fast. Now another volcano. This is a proper volcano over here. This is the main volcano. This is not a mini one. That might be quite fun to play with. Water geyser over there. We've got so much stuff that we can play with. We're never going to run out of materials in this map. We just honestly won't. Ooh, Aavak, on the subject of the cooling loop, in the industrial brick, why do you have flow limiters at the start and end of the loop that draw from your machines is uneven? Doesn't the second flow limiter just cause uneven flow? Let me go and have a quick look for you. So, let's bring up the liquid. Now, I've got a flow limiter over here because I want to leave room in these pipes to allow liquid from here to enter them. But then I have a second flow limiter over here to allow this pipe here. So if there's more fluid coming in, it can be added on to this pipe and put into the tank. Otherwise, you'll never allow the tank to ever fill. If this was always at maximum capacity, no new liquid would ever get into the system. So in the event that I actually want the tank to fill up a bit, I need this pipe not to be full. Otherwise, no new liquid can be added to it. Over here, I limit it even more. I limit it to half capacity, just to keep this one, again, able to have new liquids added on, regardless what else is going on. There's probably a much more efficient way for me to do that, but as it stands, I thought that was the best way of working it. Right, we've done our work down here. Fantastic. Let's go for another 9. Ugh. Build that one there. And at this point, I'm going to need one of you over here. And again, make it in line. Ah, Bilal's gonna be enjoying this one. Hey, Talk, how you doing, mate? You meant the one on the right-hand wall. Okay, let me quickly have a look at that for you. One on the right-hand wall. So that one. There's these two. Which other one on the right-hand wall were you referring to? This one isn't a flow limiter. This is a digital shutoff. So this can shut down this tank from accepting more fluid. That's not a flow limiter like these ones, which are valves set to only allow a certain amount of fluid through. If that's what you were looking at. There we go. Right, now I'm going to need this mopped up rather quickly. You know what? I'm going to... As much as I don't like digging into the abyssalite, I'm going to dig those two as well. Just to get all of this sorted. Once that's out the way, I can lower this down. And I can dig through. I really don't want to have to do the whole liquid lock shenanigans thing. It greatly upsets me that I'm even considering it. Greatly. But I am. I am indeed considering it. Oh, how my standards have fallen. Prior to these are on 7, so it would still grab the oil as a priority to go to the other one. Have my slicksters been busy? They have. Well done, slicksters. Hey, there ain't no filthy paw. How you doing, mate? Let's get this place mopped. There we are. Now then. Deconstruct these. Deconstruct that. I'm going to have to dig this down. Once all of that is done, I can tell that one to start bringing in some oil. Thank you. I'll just make sure that that isn't likely to dribble in. Let's use oil. I've got loads of oil around. I could... That being said... Well, no. I should use oil because this temperature wouldn't flash it then to anything else. And it wouldn't drink too much of the temperature. That being said... No, we'll use crude oil. Let's get that happening now, please. Thank you very much, Aquamentus. That's really kind of you. Diolch yn fawr for the support, mate. Now, it is a shame that we are currently operating on a bit of an energy deficit, but it is what it is. For the record, though, I feel that I've learned so much through this streamed playthrough. I feel that when the update comes out, although it's going to change things with rocketry, and sadly I didn't get it. yeah, that sucks to be you, doesn't it? Sadly, I didn't get much chance to really check that out. I am really excited to see how this goes. Right, could we? I set you all the way up to 9 as well. Get all of this swept. It's a massive priority. Let's get that out of here for now. Thank you. But yeah, hopefully we can get to space before the update hits. But I'm strongly considering a Let's Play series on my main channel following all of this. Now I feel so much more confident with what I'll be doing here. And that's good enough. That one can be turned off now and pop back onto a priority 2. Okay, I really need some petroleum to be brought down here now. Sorry, rather oil. So, priority 9 on all of this. I will set up the slickers properly eventually. There's 1,001 different things that I want to work on right now, though. So for the time being, that's going to have to wait. I need to get a little bit of oil down here. Now we have got some CO2, which is not great. Hopefully, the oil is going to... Oh, that's fantastic. Perfect, in fact. The oil immediately pushed that out. Oh, no. We want the oil back. Oh, well, actually, it's technically vacuum. That's good enough. I want more, though. Deconstruct, please. Deconstruct this one, please. We're just going to go straight up through the top. Now, as long as this is vacuum, we're going to get a little bit of water, but that's fine. Generally, that's fine. This should stay hot enough, but some of the insulated tiles are not warm enough. They will lose that, but it's okay for now. The fact that that's vacuum is perfect. We'll take some fertilizer, sure. We have 3 idle dupes. 3 dupes who have no jobs. Oh, because there's no O2. Why not? Okay, well, that's fine. There is O2 there. It's just not managed to load those up yet. And, of course, you know, power issues. But it's fine. There we go. That should be vacuum. Yes, it is. Oh, perfect. And we will then deconstruct you. Alright, so we've got a way in. This 340 grams of crude oil is keeping out 2 kilos of carbon dioxide and all of the gases above it as well. This is why I don't like these liquid blocks. Yeah, we've got 7 million calories. Oh, we do need more dupes, yeah. We absolutely need more dupes. That is something that we've discussed a little bit. Now, this next bit is going to be... unfortunately, it is going to be a pain. We have to set up a system that is going to cycle all of the material around here. Is this all made out of steel? No, this is made... Oh, no. Well, technically that doesn't need to be steel. The magma coming out of, like, the rails itself doesn't have an overheat temperature. This is coming at 1,726 degrees. The copper... It's 700 degrees above copper's melting point, but when this hits the steam is not going to be that hot. It'll never be that hot. If it's that hot, everything in here is melted. So there's no point in me worrying about that. Almost everything in there will already be gone in that case. So no, I don't need to worry about that. I just don't want it running over the volcano. In fact, I think some of it nearby... No. No, that is actually all copper, all the way around. Okay. Well, we might find that that actually breaks and it melts the rail. That would suck, but we'll see how it goes. Hello, Ockham. How you doing, mate? I'm doing well, thank you. Now, in terms of the shipping rails, may as well use the same thing. So we want to be largely shunting the heat all the way around here. Across the top, if we can. Well, I suppose we're just going to have to accept that it's not going to be all the way over there, because I'd have to go down and around, and that's not exactly what I want to do. We want to deconstruct this for now, because we're going to be moving these elsewhere. Also deconstruct this. Now I'm going to want that probably somewhere over here. And I'm also going to want a bridge to dictate the direction of flow of these items. Problem is we're putting an awful lot of stuff in one side now. This is the tricky thing, because I need enough room for this to exist and to lead things out. I really don't want this to be, because I'm not entirely sure where the copper spawns over here. And I've got almost no room to do anything over on this side. This is a tricky one. This is a legitimately tricky one to figure out how I'm going to run this through without potentially needing to move my gas pump. I may need to move the gas pump. That might just be the way that we're going to have to go with that one. I would like to have the exit point be over here, though, if I can make that happen. It's just how would I do that is the question. Oh, actually, no, I can see it. And of course, what the real question is, how can I do that whilst maintaining my little Tetris run? That's how we do it. We would have the shipping rail be... Conveyor shutoff would be here. Now, it does put it close to this point, so I'm going to make this out of steel. There we go. We would then also want the conveyor rail thermosensor, also out of steel, right there. And just to be on the ultra safe side, I'll make this out of steel as well. Just run that across. There we go. And then this one, get rid of that. We have... We're not even going to delete this conveyor loader then. Actually, considering it. Cancel the deconstruction of the conveyor loader. And we will have a... conveyor bridge to enforce that the outputs are moving in a certain direction. Once again, let's make that out of steel, though. Tunk, like that. That actually will give me a full system, then I just connect it up there, and it's as if nothing ever went wrong. Alright, but we have a battle to attend to.